Well, the roof is closed, but as you can probably tell, the mouths of these Cowboy fans could not be more wide open. It is a frenzied AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Off the play fake, Daniels. He's got the hook up downfield to Samuel. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
I'm sure after he called the ball and looked up, he thought to himself, uh-oh, trying to find some space, trying to make people miss. But a swarm of defenders were there, and they dropped him behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Daniels going to give it up on the touch pass. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. A gain of 14, first down Commanders.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Eckler going to get it again on second down. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Not too many more ideal situations at second and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Here's a first and 10 at the 14-yard line. Samuel in motion. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. All right, a great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And, partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job eluding the blocker, making the play behind the line of scrimmage, but an even better job studying the play before you have to try and defend it in a game.
Well, safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a third down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield.
Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble.
Gay's kick is good, and it's 3-0 Washington. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. And it's a pretty good return here, so get this up to the 29. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. A first carry now. This is Williams. Up past the 30, 2nd down coming up.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about where they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And that will be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. .43 yards on the punt, return of 4. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now. 2nd is short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And from the 41, this is 2nd and a yard. They go play action. Daniels. And his throw is incomplete.
Barnett came into this game eager to see how they would hold up in man coverage. And on that play, they held up quite well.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a 1st down with some nice running.
To throw is Daniels. Here's a screen for Robinson. He's across midfield. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. It's a 1st down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
From the 33, here's 2nd and a couple. Now Daniels. That's going to be caught by Samuel. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To the air goes Daniels. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That'll give him 8 that time. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Back to the ground with Robinson. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
This to McLaurin out on the left side. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
So not quite a 1st down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only gets a yard, but it's enough to set him up 1st and goal.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
Throwing now is Daniels. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Off the option, he'll try and run with it. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. Prescott now after the fumble recovery. And this is into the hands of Campbell downfield. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they've been seeking.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. On the counter, here's Williams. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. 1st level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And he'll go down at the 28. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 23, here's the 2nd down and 6. Now Prescott. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw left side here, complete to Campbell. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up fourth.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on fourth down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on fourth down.
A 36-yard attempt.
And this one is right through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go, and move on to the next series.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
Here's Daniels. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Throw caught there by Osborne. Call it a gain of a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. Devontae Turpin deep for the Cowboys. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Prescott. Pass complete to Jalen Tolbert. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Looking to throw, Prescott. To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Commanders are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Second down and a little more than a yard here. Daniels looking to throw. Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route. That one a first down pickup of 8.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. This will be caught once again by Brown. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Here's 2nd and 3. Back to throw again. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them at the end zone as the first half winds down.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, this from 37. And Gay knocks this one through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And the Cowboys going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Final play of the half, Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this 3rd quarter. This is a game, Charles, that's been fairly starved for offense. Really not much in that first half. We'll see if they can get something going here as we look toward the 3rd quarter.
And not just a chance to finally get a little more offense going, but to erase that small deficit they currently trailed by. I think they'd send a pretty powerful message to the opposite sideline if they drive it right down the field coming out of the half.
Well, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Bobby Wagner, give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Well, they've got the lead, but it's certainly not a big one. And how do you keep control of that lead? Certainly not by that last play there. They gave up a big sack on the first play of this drive. Now it's double the distance to the first down marker.
They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well.
This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. First possession of the second half now for Washington.
We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
DeMarvion Overshown coming in for that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Looking to throw. Daniels.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Daniels from the gun on 3rd down.
A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line.
The Dallas offense back out onto the field.
And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game. Yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be, try to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting sacked.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
To throw is Prescott.
Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Fires a slant, complete to Toby.
A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
A couple of 1st downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. They run it again with Williams. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of
was at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Prescott.
Tolbert hauls in the out route.
And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Here's Brian Anger now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot.
And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
49 yards rushing for him now to this point.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now if you want to take a shot on 2nd down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Back to throw. Daniels. This will be caught by Brown. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. Now inside the 25.
Touchdown, Washington. Deebo Samuel, 54 yards.
And the Commanders use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead.
They have to love seeing that from their young quarterback here in the 4th quarter, able to further that lead with a touchdown pass.
He didn't go turtle, did he? And you know what I mean by that. I had an old coach used to say all the time, hey, when we have a lead late, don't just tuck in and try and ride it out. Go out and play and extend the lead. And that's what he did.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And out now come the Cowboys.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Prescott now.
Screenplay set up for Williams.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
Prescott. Over the middle, complete. That's Lamb. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's second down and 1.
Prescott to throw it.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Washington on third down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And again, it's Prescott.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And in a 2-score game, obviously every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Here's Prescott.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down.
It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Throwing on second and long. Prescott.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses. Catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Now Prescott.
Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Oh, man, that is just a flat miss. He's in the pocket. The protection holds up. He sees his man come free, but maybe he just gets a little excited about the prospect of a long touchdown.
Aubrey on for the Cowboys field goal. A 45-yard attempt.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't.
He's got him in, complete. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Deebo Samuel with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns.
And the Commanders have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this fourth quarter.
He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You've got the first one for the second one to even matter.
He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
22 yards there, a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Prescott. And that's incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Second and 10.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Able to hit his target, Lamb.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Prescott from the gun. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
That's good for the Cowboys.
Throwing, Prescott.
That's into the hands of Tolbert.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10. Right back to Tolbert.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.
Here's 1st and goal. Now Dak.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So a 7-point game. They'll need a recovery, the touchdown, and an extra point to tie.
And this is going to be covered up by Washington.
The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half.
Here we go on the next drive for Washington.
And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. If they want it first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. They'll run again here with Robinson. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to perhaps salt this one away. Gay's kick is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. Well, they got the ball already. They're not going to risk the yardage and running another 4th down. They decline it.
And what was that they taught you in law school, that possession is 9/10 of the law?
I didn't go to law school.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did. Well, I'm going to give that to you anyway. Possession is 9/10 of the law, and it's 9/10 of this game, too. Having the football counts.
You're so litigious. After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
So Dak and the Cowboys down by 10, 24 seconds to go. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a 1st down.
To throw, Prescott. And that one too wide and incomplete.
This offense has had its troubles moving the ball all night. So now you get in this situation, hard to imagine that suddenly they're going to start clicking and moving the ball downfield.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Here's Prescott. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Prescott. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home.
It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
So it's the Commanders who come away with a win, and it was their quarterback who led the way, Charles. Pretty impressive play for a rookie.
Yeah, he really had his A game tonight. He threw a couple of touchdown passes, and he was instrumental in earning this victory.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long, everybody.